Good morning, good afternoon to every one of you. We will be discussing today all about ballistics. And we will be focusing all about our four main topics, which includes the branches of ballistics, types of firearms, test for gunshot residues, and forensic and wound ballistics.
Good afternoon guys, I'm Elhim Machokar and i-explain ko yung branches of ballistics, which is the internal ballistics, external ballistics, and terminal ballistics. So dito sa internal ballistics, ang focus lang nito kung ano yung nangyayari bago pa mag-fire yung barrel. Sa kunwari sa pag-expand ng gas kasi tumama yung firing pin sa primer. Yun ang focus ng ballistics. So sa internal ballistics, meron tayong stages. Ito yung mga stages natin: primer ignition, deflagration of gunpowder, expansive force and bullet disengagement, case expansion and obturation, blowback, and interior ballistics time frame. Sa primer ignition, dito pa lang yung firing pin tumatama sa primer. Yun ang unang stage. Then sa second stage, deflagration of gunpowder. Since tumama yung firing pin sa primer, magkakaroon ng percussion. And sa second stage, deflagration of gunpowder. Since nagkaroon ng percussion dun sa firing pin and primer, ang mangyayari sa gunpowder, mag-i-ignite siya. Then sa third stage, expansive force and bullet disengagement. Since meron ng na-ignite na yung gunpowder, syempre may mga gas na pilit kakawala dun sa cartridge. Then kapag nangyari yon, mag-disengage na yung bala. Then sa fourth stage, case expansion obturation. Syempre yung sa gas nun, may mga nabibuild na pressure dun sa loob ng chamber. Dun lang sa may obturation, may nangyayaring seal. Sa fifth stage, blowback. Ito na yung mga nakawalang pressure na galing sa third stage natin, sa expansive force. Syempre kapag may blowback, mararamdaman ng shooter yon. Yun yung tinatawag natin na recoil. Sa last stage natin, interior ballistics time frame. Ito yung time kung saan lahat ng 1, 2, 3, 4 and panglimang stage sa loob ng oras na to, 0.01, ayun nang nangyayari lahat yun. So proceed tayo dito sa external ballistics. So kung kanina sa internal ballistics, focus lang tayo sa kung anong nangyayari sa loob ng firearm, sa chamber, which is yung mga pag-strike ng firing pin sa primer. Dito sa external ballistics, magpa-proceed na tayo sa paglabas na nung tingga. Dito sa muzzle blast, dahil nag-escape nga yung gas sa chamber, meron tayong naririnig na malakas na tunog. Iba-iba yung tunog, depende sa baril. Sa number 2 trajectory, ito yung curve path na tinatravel ng tingga, which is parabola like siya. Sa range naman, ito yung kung gaano kalayo tinatravel ng tingga mula sa firearm. Sa velocity, sa speed lang siya ng tingga. Then sa air resistance, pwede nang pumasok dito yung aerodynamics. Dito sa pull of gravity, habang tumatagal yung tingga sa ere, mas bumababa siya dahil hinahatak siya ng gravity dito sa atin. Lastly, dito sa terminal ballistics, since tapos na internal kung paano nagfa-function sa chamber, dito naman sa terminal ballistics, ang focus naman dito ay yung pagtama ng tingga sa target and yung effect nito. And next naman sa types of firearms.
Good afternoon everyone, I'm Spelio Aljon Arcega and I will be discussing types of firearms, which is shotgun, combination gun, drilling gun, cape guns, autoloading or semi-automatic, slide or pump action, hinge or break open, and son-off shotgun. First is shotgun. It has a smooth bore barrel and no rifling inside. It is designed to shoot a spread of small pellet called shot or a single projectile slug. Second is a combination gun. It has featured 2 or more barrels, usually 1 smoothbore for shotgun and 1 rifled for bullets, allowing the user to fire either a shot or a bullet. It is a triple barrel gun. Typically, it has 2 shotgun barrels side by side and 1 rifled barrel underneath. Fourth is a cape gun. It is a side by side combination gun with 1 shotgun barrel and 1 rifled barrel, making it suitable for both birds and larger animals. Fifth is autoloading or a semi-automatic gun. A semi-automatic gun or autoloading gun, it has automatically cycles that ejects the spent shell and loads the next round after each shot, but only fires 1 shot per trigger pull. This allows faster follow-up shots than manual guns. And next is slide or pump action. A pump action or slide action shotgun requires the user to manually slide the forend and the part under the barrel back and forth to eject the spent shell and load a new one. It's reliable and widely used by law enforcement and hunters. Next is hinge or break open. A break open or break action gun opens at the breech like a hinge. To load and unload, it can be single or double barrel. These are simple and safe and commonly used in hunting and sport shooting. Lastly, a sawn-off shotgun has had its barrel cut short, often illegally to make it more compact. The shorter barrel increases the spread of the shot at close range and makes easier to conceal.
So next, I am Julie May Bonifacio and I will be discussing about the test for gunshot residues. Una, ano nga ba ito? Basically, ang mga test na ito ay ginagamit natin para ma-determine natin ang mga present ng nitrates, lead, barium, and other substance na meron sa gunpowder. Una, Walker test. Sa test na ito, dinidetermine natin kung may presence nga ba yung nitrates or yung mga unburned gunpowder. Additionally, nalalaman din natin yung range kung saan pinutok ang barel. Next, we have grease test. So, ang primary chemical naman na ginagamit dito ay ang tinatawag natin na sodium rhizodinate, wherein the paper infused with such chemicals will turn into pink to violet in color if nitrate is present. Next on our list ay ang paraffin test. So, sa test na ito, ginagamitan po natin siya ng paraffin wax para gumawa po ng cast ng kamay to collate nitrates residue. Then, after that, mag-a-apply po tayo ng defenlamine, wherein kapag nagkulay blue po ito, nitrates are present. Next, we have Harrison-Gilroy test. So, dito po, dinidetermine naman po ng test na ito kung present po ba ang antimony, barium, or lead. Now, may different color indicators po, each substance, which is orange for antimony, blue for lead, and red for barium. Lastly, for Marshall and Tiwari test naman po, ginagamit naman po natin ito para ma-determine if nitrates is present. And ang main indicator po ito is a deep yellow spot.
Okay, hello. Magandang umaga sa inyong mga kaibigan. Ngayon, nare-report naman natin about forensic and wound ballistics. So, with regards to this topic, it is a subfield or forensic science that applies the principles of firearm examination and ballistics to legal investigations. So, ano nga ba yung importance ng forensic and wound ballistics? Una, ginagamit natin to for legal investigations, and then pwede din natin gamitin yung mga results nito to prove kung ano nga ba yung mga entrance wound, exit wounds, and such. So, it is extremely helpful in solving criminal cases. Okay, first we have what we call the entrance wound. So, by definition, it is defined as typically smaller than the projectile's diameter due to the elastic properties of the skin. So, makita naman po natin sa example natin dyan, entrance wound is usually more defined. Meanwhile, dun sa exit wounds, makita po natin na yung appearance po is much more rugged or irregular. So, ano nga ba yung possible na reason kung bakit mas circular ang entrance wound? Possible reason po nito is yung elastic properties of the skin. So, when a bullet makes contact with your skin, it stretches for a brief period of time and then bumabalik po siya. Yun po yung isa pong factor kung bakit much more defined or much circular yung entrance wound. As for the exit wound, Dito kasi lumalabas yung bullet, if ever lalabas man yung bullet, and mas rugged po yung appearance niya, and it appears much larger than the entrance wound. Let us move on to what we call the tissue damage and the scorching. By definition, tissue damage is defined as the path of the bullet creates a shockwave within the body causing damage to surrounding tissues. So, tissue damage, hindi po siya commonly seen with the naked eye. Kasi ang place of commission ng tissue damage is sa loob po. So, although yung entrance and exit wound is nakikita natin, which is clear, na baka dun lang yung damage sa katawan, hindi po. So, ang bullet trajectory po kasi, or kung saan po dumaan yung bullet sa katawan ng isang tao, nagkakaroon po tayo ng tissue damage. So, dahil po sa force or expansive force ng gases na nasa loob ng barrel, and then yun po yung nag-expel sa pinaka-bullet po natin, nagkakaroon po ng damage sa loob po mismo ng tissues natin. Next, we have scorching. So, by definition, it is defined as caused by the flame or hot gases, not by the hot projectiles as is commonly believed. It is also known as burning or charring. So, yung sa scorching, caused po siya by the burning of gases. For example is yung kapag sa contact range, binaril ka sa or in close contact, makita po natin dito yung charring or pangingitim or nasunog na balat near the wound mismo. Let us move on to what we call blackening and dirting. By definition, blackening is caused by the deposition of smoke particles by all types of powders at close ranges. And dirting is deposited by some projectile around the wound. So, ano nga ba yung pinagkaiba ng blackening sa scorching? So, sa scorching, as discussed earlier, ang pinaka-main cause po nito is yung flame or hot gases wherein nasusunog po mismo yung balat. Meanwhile, for blackening, ito po yung deposition of smoke or also known as soot deposition. Ito naman po is galing po mismo sa usok caused by the burning of gunpowder. So, move on. On the dirting naman po, sinasabi lang dyan na yung some materials or surrounding areas or yung mga dumi is minsan po is dumidikit po sa balat, which causes the dirting from the name itself. Let us move on. We have tattooing and contusion. By definition, tattooing is caused by the embedding of unburned and semi-burned powder particles into the surface of the target. As for contusion, it is caused by the impact of the projectile on the skin from reddish dark to bluish black. It takes the form of a belt around the wound. So, ano nga ba ang pinagkaiba ng blackening and tattooing? So, blackening, it is caused by the smoke and soot dahil sa pag-burn ng gunpowder. Meanwhile, for tattooing, ito naman yung tinatawag natin na stippling or peppering. So, ito yung nakita po natin sa image dyan na parang dots. So, yun po yung tinatawag po natin na tattooing. Ngayon, naggaganon po siya dahil it is caused by the burned and unburned gunpowders. As for the next one, the contusion, parang ito yung black eye, but it is caused by the bullet itself. Sometimes, ang kulay po natin ng contusion is reddish dark to bluish black, and nakasurround po siya sa entrance wound. So, yun po yung contusion. So, that's it for our presentation. Thank you very much for watching and listening to this video.